We've got an opportunity to show you one of the most extraordinary new boats at the Cannes Boat Show. This is the new WiderCat 92, an absolutely sensational new hybrid powered super yacht catamaran. You can get some idea of the scale of this just by walking along the beam of it. So it's 92 foot long and it is over 40 foot wide. And as mentioned, it is all serial hybrid powered, so it uses electric motors to drive it, but with diesel endothermic engines to charge them if you need to get more of that range. So it carries 10,000 litres of fuel. It is 39 foot 4 inches wide and it weighs 113 tonnes. And in terms of pricing, that is equally substantial. We are talking 13.3 million euros ex-taxes. And I'm going to show you every single part of the entire boat. My name is Hugo Andre. You're watching Motorboat and Yachting. Let's go and tour it. So access is down this elevated gangway. I'm just going to put that rope on behind me. Access by appointment only. Now here is a huge tender garage. It's not open at the moment, but if I possibly can, I'll give you a peek inside that later. But just look at the scale of this machine. So look how big this aft cockpit area is. One table would just be too enormous, so they split it into two. So you've got two separate tables. There's still masses of space all around it. Love this little chaise longue in here, tucked in behind that glass frame there. That just provides a little bit more protection from the breeze. Being catamaran, you've got enormously wide side decks. Just check out, we have got netting on here. Normally that wouldn't necessarily be there, but if you've got young children or pets, then clearly you don't want them falling over there. But look how enormous the size of this foredeck is. Now this has all got a special little tread coating on, and that's because the owner has specified solar panels all the way around here. So he's got solar panels on the deck, on the upper deck, and on the hardtop. And between them, they can generate an amazing 11 kilowatts per hour. So that is a very substantial amount of electricity, but it does mean, obviously at the show, they've put this temporary surface on because they don't want too many people treading all over it. Lovely little foredeck area here, and I'm going to show you that in more detail in a second, but just wanted to show you some idea of the scale of this boat. Let's take a look inside. So we've got big sliding doors giving access to the main deck saloon. We've got a dining area over here on the port side with a very cool lighting feature up above. We've got a seating area over to starboard. You can see the curtains drawn, but there's a big window there. We've got a TV on the bulkhead, big oval mirror up above us. Dayhead just tucked in here, always handy so that day guests don't have to go down through any of the cabins. And then moving forward on this main deck, we've got the galley and crew area over here to port. So you can see there is the galley, plenty of space, all the usual kit for the crew, and that leads directly down to the crew area. A very quick look in there. You can see we've got washing machine, they've got a mess area in there, and then there are a couple of cabins we've been asked not to go in, but that's where the crew reside. But let's pop back up and go forward because this is where it gets really exciting. Here we have an entry to the main deck owner's cabin. It's a little bar area, almost a kind of pantry, but help yourself to a drink on the way through. Massive wine fridge on this side, and then check this out. This is the most spectacular main deck owner's cabin. Absolutely enormous beam, very cool LED lighting installations, central island bed, desk area over here on the port side, lots of storage behind here. I'm not going to open it because I believe the owner is staying on board. Ensuite bathroom, enormous walk-in shower area. I don't know if you can get some idea of the scale of that, but that is practically a cabin in itself. Quite distinctive pink coloured marble used for the basin. But look at this. Access out onto your own private foredeck. Massive glass window, opening door. Make sure I go the right bit of it and don't walk into the glass. But check this out. So this is the owner's private foredeck terrace. Beautiful little seating area over on this side. Another one over here. And those are those solar panels we mentioned earlier. But what a place to wake up in the morning, view out front, your own foredeck terrace. Yep, I could live with that. Now moving back through the yacht, we'll have a look at some of the guest areas. Let's drop down into the starboard hull. So this is a catamaran. So there are two separate hulls, but at this size, they are wide enough to give you really good space in the cabins. So this is the twin cabin. Now normally twin cabins, you have the beds almost next door to each other. Here, there's plenty of space in between. You could fit a third bed in the middle if you wanted to. Now because it is a catamaran, the hull comes up behind those beds, which is why they're kind of cantilevered out at this level. But plenty of room and an ensuite bathroom right next door. And again, look at the size of the showers. I think this boat has the biggest showers I've seen on any 92 footer. And then moving back through, we're now heading astern. This is on the double cabins. Really big, that's a 6-foot bed, absolute minimum. Plenty of space all around. Pop-up TV just behind the desk. Big storage in there. Ensuite bathroom with another enormous glass shower compartment. Gone for quite an unusual green marble on this side. And this is my favourite bit. So this gives access out onto the beach club. So it has folding terraces that come down. You can open that up when the terrace is folded down, walk straight out of bed, onto the terrace and dive into the sea. How cool is that? We can't do it here because we're in a boat show and we're too close to the next door boat. So back upstairs. Now, similar layout on this side. So this is the third guest cabin. Similar to the other double VIP that we saw on the starboard, in the starboard hull. Big bed, lots of room all around it. Big wardrobe, and that same substantial bathroom with an immaculate glass shower compartment. Move back up onto the main deck. And this time, let's go up on one of the internal staircases. This takes you to the bridge deck. And we'll start with the captain's helm, the bridge itself. Now here you can see some of that clever hybrid system. Not sure how well that comes across on screen, but you can see the diesel engines are not physically connected to the electric motors. All they do is generate electricity that feeds the electric motor. And it has a huge set of batteries. It has 340, I believe, 340 kilowatt hour batteries. So you can cruise at 6 knots for, let me just check some of the details on that. So you can cruise for 6 knots for 24 nautical miles using electric power alone. You can have 15 hours at anchor without having to fire up the generators. And then when you do need to extend that range, you fire up the conventional diesel engines and then you can cruise at speeds up to 14 knots. Now here we are on the upper deck and a second saloon with that same very distinctive green parquet flooring. Quite unusual, but it's clearly a very distinctive yacht in a number of different ways, and the colour scheme reflects that. This is not the kind of boat for the shy, retiring types. But very nice upper saloon, big television screen on the bulkhead there. And how about this for the ultimate party zone? It's a simply enormous bar. Rectangular in shape, high-level stools all around it. There are 4 along there, 2 at each end. So you've got 8 people can sit around drinking cocktails. You've got all the kit you need to keep them fully fed and watered. We've got fridges and ice makers and everything else going on in that wet bar. But what a place to hang out in the evening, have a sundowner, have a chat, maybe a few snacks, bit of tapas. And of course, you've also got a teppanyaki grill here. So if you have got the chef on board, they can whip you up a lovely meal too. Lots more storage space behind there. And then similar walk around decks, very spacious too. Normally up here you'd have a load of sunbeds. In this case, the owner has specified a pair of jet skis. So this was the only place that they had room left to carry them. But you can see there is a crane here so they can be lifted up and over, and they have specially made cradles so they sit very securely in place there. And there's still room for a nice sunbathing spot right here. And might just get a bit of a peek up here. You can see yet more of those solar panels up on that hardtop. And those ones are standard. The ones on the decks themselves are an optional extra if you need even more solar power. Let's finish up the tour seated at this amazing bar area on the upper deck, because this is where I feel most guests are going to choose to spend most of their time. So I hope you've enjoyed having a quick look round the new WiderCat 92. It is a fascinating design, both in terms of the way it looks and of course that serial hybrid propulsion system. I'm afraid we're not able to show you the technical workings of that. The owner and the yard have asked us not to show the technical areas, but clearly we've shown you everything else to see, and I hope you'll agree it is a truly fascinating new yacht. So please do leave any comments you want to. If you've enjoyed the video, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you very much for watching.